Alright, so this video is going to be something a little different than normal, just going through and playing around with some channels and retracements and projecting price targets. So this is the the S&P Futures. We have it on a monthly chart, and for now, let's just go ahead and take this off too. And for now, all I've done is I have put a retracement channel from the high in 2007 down here into the low of 2009, and then extended it along the uptrending lows since then. The reason I picked these anchor points is because I want to have as many touches against the bottom trend line as possible to confirm the trend. So if I were to draw it down here, you see I am missing this point and this point, and again, if I draw it up to here, I'm still missing this data point. So for the intents and purpose of this channel, I've drawn it to this point so that it confirms a valid trend line of at least 3 touches to fit my criteria. Alright, moving forward. So we see that this retracement channel is broken into 3 pieces for now. From the purple section is the 0 to 38.2 retracement as it extends up. The yellow section is the 38.2 to 61.8% retracement that trends up. And then the green area is the 61.8 to 1, which obviously trends up. So let's look at this first and just talk about points of reference that have proven this retracement channel successful. First, we have this test in 14 and 15 along the uptrending 38.2. We see multiple touches and tests of it, but still failure. It rolls over, it tests the bottom of our channel, and then comes back up. We see it comes back in October 2017. It's able to break through the 38.2 of the channel. It tests up here exactly into the 61.8 of the channel high, and then moves back down to confirm the breakout of the channel 38.2. A couple monthly pullbacks below, but we see every test has demand in the form of bottoming tails, and price again resumes higher once it reestablishes. We do see the breakdown here in 2019. That was that big, couple month drop we had going into 2019, December 2018. We see again, it tests the bottom of the channel. It breaks back up above that 38.2 retracement again. Takes a couple months, gets back up above it, and then again we see demand in the form of bottoming tail hammers here in August 19 as well as October 19. We could also say that this pattern has established an inverse head and shoulder uptrending, whereas the neckline is here and the shoulder line is here. So now we have a bullish pattern at the top of a breakout. I know that a lot of times people will say that inverse head and shoulders patterns should only be based at the bottom of a trend, but in this market we see them at the tops of trends, and so that is what it is. But anyway, we will talk about this head and shoulders in just a second. Inverse head and shoulders. So let's move forward. We see after that inverse head and shoulders break, price moves up and tests the 61.8% channel here. Price breaks into it, and you see this push and pull action where price tries to establish its position here. Last month it tried to break back down below that line, and this month again we have that resurgence of price pushing all the way back up here into new all-time highs. If we assume this channel to be true, then we would assume that the next resistance price in this relationship that we see now is up here at the channel high around 36.65. But what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and add our sub-level Fibonacci's, the 50, which really isn't a retracement level at all, and then the 76.4. Alternatively, we could add the 23.6, but here, I'll just show it to you. So 23.6, you see it also establishes here and forms rejection. But for the purpose of this video, the 23.6 has no relevance. Alright, so the 76.4 here is now uptrending. You see we've added it. It's split our green section into a smaller subsection that trends from 61.8 to 76.4, and now 76.4 to 1 is in white. So what I wanted to show was that we are awfully close to the 76.4 of this channel. Let me go ahead and zoom in on a weekly. So there you go. That's a little bit better. You can see that the price point for the 76.4 is up here around 34.05 or so, which coincidentally I believe is the 61.8 of this range. Oh, I don't have it on lock. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, so yeah, so 34.14.5 is the horizontal 61.8 on this short-term weekly pullback from 337.5 to 32.1275. So it'll be interesting to see price up here in this general area, 3,400 to 34.14. Do we just see short-term consolidation sideways? Do we just see, you know, a build like we had in 2019 and then a break higher? Or do we see price revert back lower to test into the lower part of the 61.8? I do not know. Cannot predict that future, but certainly something to keep in mind. So I want to go back real quick to the inverse head and shoulders we were discussing. It's right here. So let's go ahead and draw that neckline again. Alright, so now let's go ahead and test the measured move of the inverse head and shoulders, since we now have additional upside targets. The measured move of an inverse head and shoulders is the range, which is around 2,947 minus the head down here at 2,316. Gives us 631 points of range at 75%. Gives us 437 points of breakout on the move above the neckline, which happened here, 3065, which gives us an overall breakout target of 35.38 for the inverse head and shoulders. One sec. So there we go. Now we have another painted upside target. So now we have the 76.4 break here, and then we have that shorter term 61.8 at 34.14. And then now we have a monthly inverse head and shoulder target up here at 35.38. I'm not saying that this 35.38 is going to come right now. I'm just saying that in the future, that is the price target. So we'll want to be cautious around that level. But for now, what we're really watching is the establishment of price within this channel. From here and here. So bullish, max bullish would be if price were to maintain this channel, set up, build consolidated value, and then move up to test the monthly inverse head and shoulders target as well as the top of the channel. If we see a reversion back below the 61.8 line, then we would expect to see a test back down here once again into the breakout of the neckline, which currently resides somewhere around the 50 line, I do believe, if we zoom out. Yeah, because this was the 61.8, so this is the 50 line. So the breakout of that resides around the 50 line. So from this perspective of a channel, these are our downside supports, around 32.25, and then down here around 30.94. And then if we wanted to, we could go ahead and strike a couple of retracement levels on this chart for additional upsides. The level we just drew was the retracement level from the highs in 2018 to the lows in December 2018. Projecting the 61.8 out here at 33650. I've discussed it before. We had several weeks where we had several weeks where price fought around this level. Here, 13 Jan, 20 Jan, 3 Feb, and then this week we finally broke out of that consolidated phase below the 161.8. So it's a nice push there. We'll just have to see if price can continue through this channel or not. If we wanted to draw some shorter term supports, we could do something off of this low. And obviously these points are just simply assuming that the high has been set. I'm not saying the high has been set. I'm just saying that these points represent the high being set. So let's add the 23.6. And let's go ahead and just zoom in so we're not on the weekly. Alright, so this gives us a little bit better of a picture of some longer term support structures on the daily. We see the 23.6 of that longer term move is still down here all the way at 33.13 and a quarter. All-time high up here at 33.88.50. Looks like volume trying to start to build out here from 33.70 into about 33.80 or so. But closest volume node in range is still down here at 33.25. Additional shorter term supports could be drawn in this manner. Green is not good with green. Well, you can see it, right? Yeah. And then if we want to, we can go into like an hourly chart just to get some better definition of the volume profile in this general area. Alright, so there's that volume node I was discussing building out from 70 to 80. Kind of just want to smash down through this and see if we can't see that bigger node. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to see in relation to price how much larger this node was. And if we do a quick line, so this one is like 168 hours deep. This isn't the best way to measure these, but it's the only way I know on here. So 168 hours to 70 hours. So this node is roughly 2 times the size of this node in relation. This node here at 33.25 almost got that point of control to move. So still looking here at this 33.25 as a supportive point. But let's go ahead and get back into a shorter term chart. There we go. Alright, so now we have in green the shorter term price points that we laid out. 33.37 is now our 23.6 on the shorter term. That still leaves about 40 points of range in here. So if we wanted to additionally, for intraday scalping purposes, we could additionally draw one more set of retracements. Yeah, that's a terrible color. I need more colors. Yeah, let's go with that. So here now are our scalp levels moving into next week. We see that node of volume building out from 33.70 to 33.80, which is this shortest term 38.2 at 33.73. Point of control and range 33.76, and then the 23.6 at 33.79, which price broke above just before close. And lastly, you could do one from the top down. Given the time frame, this is where I would probably only put on the 61.8 and maybe the 38.2. Oh, that's not the line I want. This one. So something like that. So now that gives you every time frame, at least every time frame that I want to trade on, supports and resistances in this picture right here. So to recap, now we know 33.73 as support, and 33.74 was previous support. Moved up to 33.79. Tried to confirm there at close. If we hold 79, up into 88.5. The uptrending, Trending. What's up trending right there? Oh, that's nothing. That was just our... There we go. There we go, that's better. Alright, so now we have our shorter term targets laid out and resistances. Again, support 3380 area and then 3373, then down into 3363. Max bullish is a hold there at 3373. If we hold 80, test the 88.5, shorter term 161.8 is up here at 3403 area. Also there at 3403 is the separation of the 76.4 channel retracement into the 100. So certainly something to watch. And then not pictured on this screen, but pictured on amazing how much dirtier it looks when you zoom out. And then we have our 34.14.5, that's 161.8 up here as well at 34.14.5. So these will be the upside targets to watch. Certainly we don't have to roll over and drop if this market wants to consolidate in range. As I said earlier, max bullish consolidation is a hold above the 61.8 at 33.64. While price remains above that level, considering it as a bullish consolidation to higher. If we lose 33.65, it offers reversion back down here into 33.50 and then 33.13 to 33.23. And finally, if we lose that level, then it offers back into the longer term 61.8 down here at 32.80, all the way down here into the tertiary 38.2 at 32.67, which is also the channel retracement 61.8 as we discussed earlier. So that gives us some supports from 33.81 down into 32.66. And then we've got some upside targets additionally up here into 34.14. Watching for any gameplay in this general area. Are we going to see any traps? What in the world? Drew that the wrong way. Are we going to see, any traps up here in this range? If we do see price spike up into this and then immediately pull down, it's going to make me wary of a little bit more of a drop. But we'll have to watch price. So far, internals really haven't been of an issue this week. Even on Friday, they, for the most part, maintained pretty neutral to slightly bearish numbers. But every time we see gaps down, they've always been filled back up. So we'll just have to see what happens here with price action opens on Tuesday. But for now, that's how I'm considering the ES. So sorry about all the rambling, but have a great weekend.